good morning, everybody. Let me start by making sure you're all here in the right room for the right reason. You'd be surprised. Raise your hand if you're here. I haven't said anything yet. We planned that perfectly on Zoom last night. That was brilliant. If you're here because you want to learn to master social media, raise your hand if that's why you're here. Fantastic. By the way, if you don't raise your hand to that, we've got a real problem. Because you're like, is this that seminar? I thought that was the other one. Raise your hand again if you don't try to master social media, you want to do it in a way where it gives you more income and or more free time. Raise your hand. You're really good at this. Raise your hand again if you'd like all of that to happen, preferably last week. Raise your hand if you're not going to raise your hand all day. Hey. Look, I don't know where you're at right now, but maybe perhaps you're here because you haven't mastered social media. I'm kind of guessing that, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? Perhaps you don't have the time that you want. Maybe you don't have the income that you know you want and that you know you truly deserve. Maybe you're seeing other people succeeding with social media, and maybe perhaps you're wondering, what is it that they know that I don't yet know? Well, I want you to now imagine, just fast forward a period of time, picture this. You have absolutely mastered social media. So much so, social media for you has now become like a tap in your kitchen. Meaning when you want more leads, you turn the tap on. When you don't need any more leads, you turn the tap off. Picture this. You've mastered social media so well that it's now giving you all the income that you could ever possibly want, all the leads, all the sales, all the time you could ever possibly want. You've mastered social media so well, it's now made you the number one in your industry and space. And you've mastered social media so freaking well that it's now giving you the life that you know you truly freaking deserve. So, if what you're saying, Miles, is right now somewhere over there, and where I want to be is some version of over there, team, would you all agree maybe perhaps we need a new strategy or vehicle, maybe, to go from there to there? Yes or no, team? Just so you know, that was the audience participation part of the seminar. It's interesting though, right? You've all come to an event which is all about standing out, and yet our natural default as human beings is to blend in. Isn't that why you came there? Because you want to stand out, isn't it? And just so you know, when I ask a question, that's called a check-in, right? So I'm not looking for an ego massage from stage. But the thing is, we're going to teach you a lot of stuff today, and you may have heard the saying, knowledge is power. You heard that saying? It's not true, is it? Because it's only powerful if you use it. My mum ran a gym for 20 years, and she'd say, everybody knows what to do to get in shape. I'm not looking at you for any reason. Why does he look at me when he says that fitness thing, eh? She'd say, everybody knows what to do to get in shape, but nobody's in shape. Why? Because common sense isn't always common practice. You guys with me so far? Yes or no, team? So we're going to teach you a lot of stuff today, and the only way that we're going to know if you're going to actually use it is by the volume in which you respond. If the volume of your response is low, it sends a message to mine and Ross's brain to say, maybe we didn't teach that point very well, maybe we need to teach that again. And if we do that with every point, we'll be into bloody next week, right? Joking aside, we pride ourselves when we run these events in making sure that when people leave, they leave better than when they walked in. And this is not just another one of those events. You leave and you actually say, that was amazing, that was incredible, that was exactly what I need. And the only way that we know is by the volume at which you respond when we teach you stuff. So with that said, team, can we test the volume on the yes and the no? Yes or no, team? Thank you! That's what I'm talking about. So, that was very good. So what are we here for today? Well, here's what I see right now is perhaps your biggest problem in your business, not your life, don't worry, it's not a therapy session. Take this in for a minute. Right now, not enough people know you exist. If everyone in your industry, radius, town, sector, city, space knew you existed, you would have all the clients you could ever possibly want and need. So the number one thing that we've got to fix today is getting you more attention. Here's the thing though. 30 years ago, you needed TV, radio, newspapers to get your message out, which meant it was impossible for mere mortals like us to get in that game. It was too expensive, it was impossible, right? But now, with the emergence of YouTube and Facebook and social media, it now means every single one of us has the opportunity to get in the game. Yeah. Oh, I thought I'd get a bit more enthusiasm. Right? But here's the thing though, here's the bad news. You want some bad news? No, of course you don't want bad news. The bad news is everybody is playing this game, aren't they? If you scroll on social media today, every single person is wanting to get attention for what it is that they do. Even if they're not a business or a brand or a product or a service, even if it's just a mum with their kid, everybody wants your attention. So here's the great news. Would you like some great news? Yes or no, Tim?
Yeah.
Here's the great news. The great news is, thank you, the way that most people communicate, the way that most people promote themselves on social media actually isn't very good. Which is great news for you, because when your message is well crafted and is really eloquent, you will really stand out. Raise your hand if you want to stand out. And if everybody else, there should be every hand in the room. Fantastic. So, good morning, everybody. I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Statham Grant. I'm one of your coaches today. I'm the UK's #1 high performance coach and do events on behalf of Tony Robbins. Raise your hand if you know Tony Robbins. If you haven't heard of Tony Robbins, don't worry, I'll talk about who he is later. I've got clients ranging from Easy Gym, Champney Spa, Fitness First. I've had clients in X Factor, thank you, man. I've had clients in movies such as The Matrix. I've done over £2 million in sales on social media, and I'm not telling you that to impress you, but to impress upon you that I found that when you know how, social media is very simple. Notice I said simple, not easy. Right, I'm going to use the fitness analogy a lot today. My mum, running a gym for 20 years, right, would say fitness isn't easy, but it is simple. Yes or no, Tim?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not easy fitness, but it is simple when you know how. So a lot of what we're going to teach you today is going to be simple. Will it help you today simple? Yes or no, Tim?
Yes.
Okay, good. So here's what we're going to do. Before we get into the main session, there's a few key points that I must share with you that are really key for you as the growth of your business. Now, I probably have invested about £50,000 in mentors over the past 5 years alone, and I've learned that there are some key differences between successful entrepreneurs and unsuccessful entrepreneurs. Now, who here in the room is in property? Thank you. Those of you not in property, you'll get the metaphor, I'm sure. If you're building a new house from scratch, one of the fundamental things we've got to do is lay the right foundation. An unsuccessful person. I must put a disclaimer up before I say what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say, you have heard before. I can't hold a candle to the Tony Robbinses of this world. But what you must ask yourself is not, have I heard this before? You must ask yourself, am I actually doing what Miles has said? Do you understand the difference? Yes or no, team?
Yes.
Remember, knowledge isn't powerful unless we use it. So, point number one, feel free to make notes. Point number one is this. Number one, you need to be really clear about what is your outcome for your business in the next 6, 9, 12 months. I call this the outcome GPS. Let me explain. If you think about it, all a sat-nav is a tool to get you from A to B without having to think about how to get from A to B. Yes or no, team?
Yes.
And isn't it true, team, that if you put one element in a sat-nav in wrong, it can send you in a completely different direction? Yes or no, team?
Yes.
So this is what this means for you as an entrepreneur. Rookie entrepreneurs, if I ask them what they're here for, would say something like this. I'm just here to learn a little bit about social media. That's what a rookie entrepreneur would say. A successful entrepreneur wouldn't say that. They would say something like, I'm here to learn about social media so that it can increase the revenue and the profitability of the business, so I can learn to systemize and scale the business better, so I can have more time with my kids. Or something like that. Do you understand the difference in those two statements? Yes or no, Tim? So what that means for you is, you need to be very clear about what it is you want. You need to know that you're not here for social media, you're here for something behind it. You need to be clear about what it is you really, really, really want. That's like a spice up. Tony Robbins has got a great saying for this, you may want to write this down. He says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. I'll explain in a minute what that means for you. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Let me explain what that means. Let me ask you. If you succeed on social media and you get loads of leads, but they don't translate into sales, is that real success? Yes or no, Tim? No. Let's imagine that you translate these leads into revenue, but they don't translate into profit. Is that real success? Yes or no, Tim? No. Let's imagine that you translate the leads into sales, into revenue, into profit, but now the people that you love are complaining that they don't see you anymore, or you're now getting pains in your chest because you're working so hard. Is that real success? Yes or no, Tim? No. So you need to be really clear. You're not here for social media. You're here for what it can do for you. You're here for what it can do for you. So here's the thing. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. The reason I'm going so hard on this straight out of the gate, one of my mentors called me on this years ago. He said, Miles, why are you really here? This was an event I was at. And I said, well, it goes back to my childhood if you want to know the real answer to the question. And I'll tell you, as a kid growing up on a council estate in Birmingham, I was raised by my mum who was a single parent. My mum and dad broke up when I was very young. My mum at any given time worked 3 jobs. My mum didn't get to come to school plays, she didn't get to come to play football, she was always working. As a kid growing up, I naively thought, my mum having 3 jobs, financially, I assumed that I'd be able to have what I want and we'd be doing well. And as you probably can imagine, if your mum has 3 jobs and she's a single parent, that's probably not the case. We probably ran out of electric pay-as-you-go tokens at least once a week. So as a kid growing up, I made a decision. I said, when I grow up, I still haven't grown up yet. I said, when I grow up, I want to make sure I have 2 things. I want to make sure I have financial freedom and time freedom. Here's why the second one's very important. You can always make more money, you can't make more time. Anybody in the room that's lost a loved one knows a thing or two about that. So, know this thing. You're not here for social media. You're here for what it can do for you. Be really clear about that. Every single one of you start to get clear about what it is that you really, really want from your business in the next 12 months. Number 2, once we know what it is that we really want, next thing we've got to do is know what is the right marketing to get us there. Because if we don't, it's great to have a goal, but a goal without a plan is just a wish. So we need what we call the marketing recipe. Let me explain what that means. If you think about it, all the recipe is ingredients and an order and a sequence in which to mix those ingredients, right? If you mix the ingredients in the right order, you get the right result. If you mix the ingredients in the wrong order, well, you get my wife's banana bread. That's the story for today. That joke's in my head, that was out loud. And now I'm going to let you know what that means. Should I keep trying? Keep trying. Yeah. Here's the thing, Tim. Let me give you a breakthrough thought straight out of the gate. When it comes to social media, you know what you know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know. There's a mouthful for you on a Friday morning right there. Here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. Those of you that drive in the room, you'll understand this. Those of you that don't drive, I promise you'll understand this. When you learned to drive, did you have to get an instructor shout out and say yes or no? Yes. When you learned social media for the very first time, did you have to get an instructor? Yes or no? No, you didn't. That's why it hasn't worked for you so far. Right? That's why you're here. So you need to get yourself an instructor because right now you don't know what you don't know. And just so you know, not knowing what you don't know, that used to be me. Posting not that long ago, getting nowhere fast. Then I went to an event, there was a guy on stage at this event in Nottingham. His name was Chris Black. I now call him Coach Chris, he's a good friend of mine, he's been a coach of mine for a while. And Coach Chris was talking about how to master social media. And at that event, which was a free event, there was an opportunity at the back of the room, obviously, to invest in further mentoring and support. Obviously there was an investment opportunity. It was a free event. It wasn't aimed at people there wouldn't be. And I had an opportunity that day. Do I take the help and support that's being offered at the back of the room, or do I keep trying to figure everything out for myself? First response, I'm going to keep trying to figure everything out for myself. Here's why that was my first response. Again, it goes back to my childhood. See, my mum's advice to me growing up was, Miles, don't rely on other people, because your dad left. You need to figure everything out for yourself. Which was very good advice, because it made me very, very independent, but it also made me very guarded to help and support. Just so you know, team, not everybody's out to get you, just so you know. So after checking with my intuition, which is a segue to my next point, I went to the back of the room, I enrolled in Coach Chris's social media training, £1,000 investment that day, that turned into £464,000 within the following 18 months. Was that a good investment, yes or no, team? Yes. Absolutely. So the great news for you today is we're going to be your instructor today. We're going to teach you when to accelerate, when to brake, everything in between, what you need to do so you can pass this social media test. We're helping you, we were your instructors today. Yes or no, team? Yes. Okay, good. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now, what do we know? We know what we want, and we know that there is a marketing recipe. We know that there's an order and sequence in which to do things. If we don't do the next thing, we're still not going to get to where we want to get to. But the next thing we've got to do is we've got to take action. But not any old action, we've got to take what I call gut action. Let me explain what I mean. Your intuition always always knows what's right for you. Rookie entrepreneurs hear the intuition, but they don't act on it. Successful entrepreneurs act on it. That's the difference. The reason why rookie entrepreneurs don't act on their intuition is because they're too busy listening to their brain. When it comes to staying alive, your brain is on your side. When it comes to building a business, your brain is not on your side. Here's why. Your brain is hardwired to keep you alive and safe, nothing more. And your brain does not know the difference between rational fear and irrational fear. Let me explain. Rational fear is you're in a zoo and you hear a zookeeper shout, "Run!" What do you do, team? Somebody just got eaten by a lion, but never mind. Irrational fear is, and I'm not making a mocking of this, by the way, in case you feel this fear. Irrational fear is you thinking about speaking at an event about your business, or doing a Facebook Live in the middle of a city centre and there's people around, and you hesitate out of fear. Do you understand that that's not life and death like the lion in the zoo? Yes or no, Tim? Great, thank you. Here's the thing though, your brain doesn't know the difference. So how do you override that? Well, Mel Robbins wrote a great book on this, it's called 5-Second Rule. And she basically says in the book, when your intuition tells you to do something, you need to act on it within 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go now, go now, go now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. If you don't, your brain kicks in and says something like, now's not the right time, I'm not ready yet. I need to think about it more, I need to learn more first. I'll do it later, I'll do it next time. So you need to act on your intuition quickly before your brain kicks in and keeps you in your comfort zone. And another reason why we don't act on our intuition is because our brain, trying to keep us safe, our brain is scared of failing. Here's the annoying thing, here's some annoying thing for you entrepreneurs in the room, is that failure at school was often deemed as bad. Yes or no, Tim? Yeah. Often deemed as bad. Here's the annoying thing, you know in entrepreneurship, failure is the fastest route to succeed. You all know this intellectually because you're all nodding. Yet if you're not taking enough action based on your intuition, you're maybe not failing enough. So as weird as it sounds, you need to fail more. Which is weird because for 16 plus years, you were told failure was bad. So they didn't wire us for entrepreneurship, unfortunately. So we have to unlearn this. Alternatively, we just have to act a lot faster. I remember an experience a few years ago where I didn't listen to my intuition. I heard it, but I didn't act on it. I was in Las Vegas for a work thing. Sounds more glamorous than it actually was. Thank you for that, sitting on the clicker. It sounds more glamorous than it actually was. It wasn't a work thing, I promise, even though my wife says it was. All right, okay, maybe it was a little bit, because on the evening off, I went out for a drink, a few. Anyway, story for another day. The bottom line is, the morning after, there was an opportunity to skydive over the Grand Canyon. And I missed it, because I stayed up late drinking. Now, I have since skydived, but it was over Middlesbrough. No offence to be from Middlesbrough, but it's not the Grand Canyon, right? The point, I'm going to laugh at my own jokes, but nobody else will. The point is this, there's some regret now of the fact that I didn't take the opportunity when it was presented to me. So you've got to know that your intuition is always telling you what to do and what not to do. The question is whether you act on it or not. Now, bearing in mind, I had a positive experience with Coach Chris. I'll take you into an entrepreneurial story for a minute. I was at an event a few years ago at Earl's Court, and it was the National Achievers Congress, and Richard Branson was the headline speaker. And there was a guy on stage called Coach Andy. He was talking about how when you learn how to speak and communicate and present yourself better, you can help a lot more people, earn a lot more money in a lot less time. And I was like, I like the sound of that, that sounds good. Because just so you know, I've just told you about Coach Chris, £1,000 in, £464,000 out. Sounds good, but it actually wasn't good. Let me explain. I was having to exchange my time to earn the £3,000 a day rate that made up that £464,000. You guys with me? Yes or no, Tim? Yeah. So actually, the £3,000 a day, all it really was a glorified version of my mum having 3 jobs in a council estate. Which is why I go so hard so early on about you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Because if you make loads of money but you have no time to enjoy it, is that really the point? It's not the point, right? That's not real success. Give you success, but it won't give you fulfillment. Because you miss out on all the opportunities that you want. Jim Carrey's got a great saying. He says something like, I'm going to butcher this quote, but it's something like, I wish everybody would become so affluently, abundantly wealthy to realise that that's not actually the goal. Right? You want both time and the financial bit. Anyway, I'm at this event, Coach Andy, he's on stage. Again, it's a free event. I wasn't naive enough to think there wouldn't be, but there's another sale at the back of the room, there's an opportunity to invest. This time it's a £3,000 course with Coach Andy to learn how to speak. Thankfully, listened to my intuition, went to the back of the room, enrolled. That £3,000 investment has turned into £2 million in sales so far. Was that a pretty good decision? Yes or no, Tim?
Yes.
More importantly, it wasn't about the 2 million, it was more about it brought me my time back. Because I now have a business that scales and works without me needing to be there. Does that make sense? Yes or no, Tim?
Yes.
And I'm married with 2 children, and that's really important to me, as you know from me growing up on a council estate without a dad and all that kind of stuff, right? Really important. So every single one of you needs to know that you've got to start taking more action in spite of fear. Know that fear is a good sign. Now, let me tell you a way to do it that makes it really easy. If you look around this room for a minute, just look around this room for a minute. Don't look at anybody too long that you freak them out. Here's what you need to know about this room, team. This room is what I would call a judgment-free zone. Let me explain. Out there in the real world, people may judge you for going for your dream, but not in here. You see, everybody in here, I believe, is here because even though you're all independent, different, and unique, you're all here, I believe, because you want to take your life and all your business to the next level. Is that right? Yes or no, Tim? Yes. So you want to spend more time in environments with people like this. Jim Rohn says, who you spend time with is who you become. But you also want to start to spend time with people that are more successful than you. Have you heard of Usain Bolt?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So they're running, right? Watched a documentary on him a few months ago. And this documentary was all about his backstory of his upbringing in Jamaica. And at one point, he was the fastest 14-year-old in Jamaica, so he was fast, right? And his trainer got him a lane to go to the Olympic Stadium in Kingston to race against the then men's team that were getting ready for the next Olympics. So he's in lane 8, the gun goes off, little Usain's running as fast as he can, runs through the finish line, dead last. Gets back on the bus, sits in the back of the minibus, and he's got his head down, shoulders launched, and he's sulking. Why is he sulking, Tim? Because he lost, and he's used to winning. His trainer turns around and looks at him. I'm not going to do the trainer's accent because my granddad from Jamaica will turn in his grave. I'm not doing it. You say it now, I'm not doing it. His trainer turns around and looks at him and says, Usain, that's why we need to stop you racing against boys and get you to start racing against men. What that means for you, Tim, is if you're the smartest person in your peer group, you are in the wrong peer group. If you're the healthiest person in your group, you're in the wrong group. If you're the most wealthiest person in your group, the most ambitious person in your group, you're in the wrong group. Your ego will love it, but your bank balance won't. You need to upgrade your peer group. The rest is history for Usain Bolt, right? Upgrade your peer group. Upgrade the caliber of the people that you spend time with, and it will rub off on you. For me, one of the things I've learned is when you spend time with people that are in business that are more successful than you just get to model from them. You just get to just do what they do, and you get similar results. It's a recipe, right? Raise your hand in the room if you've heard of Adam Stott, by the way. Okay, good, a few of you. So Adam is the founder of Big Business Entrepreneurs. So Adam was on Rich House, Poor House, which is on Netflix. Check that out. Adam, very successful 8-figure business owner. Adam has shared the stage with Anthony Joshua, Floyd Mayweather, Al Pacino, John Travolta, incredible entrepreneur. After initially being annoyed by the fact that Adam is the same age as me and way more successful, I realised something, that if I spend more time with someone like Adam, it will probably have a good impact on me and my own results. Do you think, and one of the things Adam's really good at is planning. Do you think if you planned like an 8-figure business owner, you may get better results in your own time management? Yes or no, team? Yes. Absolutely. So here's what I'm going to do. Team, is it alright if I use the F word today? Yes. I'm any fun, by the way, I'm a Christian. So I wonder if you can, turn around, face me in the back of the room. So, I have in my hand Adam's success planner. Some of you already get it, but there's no reason why you can't get another one for a friend or a family at home. What is your gut intuition telling you to do right now?
May I?
Give a round of applause! I want the brain turn. Here's what you need to know, team. You get in life the opportunities that you take, not the opportunities that are handed to you. What just happened? Took the opportunity. You also came for the opportunity, which is great. But here's what you need to know, team. In the Olympics, what happens when you go first? When you win, you get a gold medal. Second, silver. Third, bronze. Fourth, what do you get? Nothing. So I want every single one of you in this room to imagine that you are in a race. That there's somebody out there right now that wants to do what you want to do, and you're in a race. Here's what you don't want to happen. 12 months from now, you fast forward, you go on social media, and you see somebody doing what you do who is crushing it, and they're not even as good as you. You do not want to see that. The way that you prevent that is you take action faster. Trust your intuition, act on your intuition, 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plus, part of the reason I did that is I want every single one of you to become more comfortable taking action without thinking. Because I believe every single one of you in this room has a gift, but it's not yours to keep. And if right now you're not taking enough action out there, you're not getting what you want, and people out there are not getting what they want. You take more action, you take more shots, then you'll be more successful. Repetition is the mother of skill. Consistency, faster, action, trust your intuition, and you'll get to where you want to get to. Okay, now that you know the rules of the game, let's try that one more time. So I wonder if you can, turn around at the back of the room, you'll see Coach Tash. Coach Tash, what have you got in your hand there? Oh, it was too quick. Team, is it alright we have some fun today? Yes or no? Okay, good. We're going to be here, let's have some fun, right? Which leads me to my final point, which is about your state. How you do anything is how you do everything. Tony Robbins has got a great saying, which is your state is really the key to everything that you want to achieve in your life. And he talks about 3 things when it comes to your state: your physiology, your focus, and your language. Meaning, you want to make sure that you're managing your body, your energy, and your physiology, people by people. So your energy and your enthusiasm is going to be a key to the sale. Next is your focus. You want to make sure that you're focusing glass half full, not glass half empty. One person may call rain, mist, or weather, but yet on the other side of the world is the solution to a famine or a drought. And then third is your language. What do you say to yourself? Internally and externally. Are you speaking positive words of affirmation to yourself or not? Yes. And the key thing is your state will dictate a lot of what you achieve. One of my mentors said to me this many years ago, you want to write this down? He said, Miles, don't write Miles, that's not your name. He said, treat your business like a hobby and it will pay you like a hobby. He said, treat it like a business and it will pay you like a business. How you do anything is how you do everything. Here's why this point's really important. Rookie entrepreneurs, they come to an event like this and they treat it like a free event. This is how a rookie entrepreneur treats an event like this. Yeah, we'll see. Not making any notes, not making any eye contact. I'm not even going to laugh at his shit jokes. I'm a serious entrepreneur. I'm serious, man. I'm going to keep a serious face all day. I'm serious. I'm just here to prove that I'm right and this is wrong. If that's you, no judgment, I get it. You're sussing us out. It's a human nature to suss people out. We all do it. I'm doing it right now. But here's what you need to know, team. We're not miracle workers. You're going to get out of this event when you put in. If a person went to my mum's gym for a very first time for a free trial, and my mum said, let's start you off on a cross trainer, and they said, not doing it. You're laughing because you understand what I mean. My mum would say, well, this free trial is probably not going to get very far. So what this means to you is you're going to get out of this event when you put in. Isn't it true, team, that we tend to value things more that we pay for than things that are free? Yes or no, team? Not always, but sometimes. If you had a round-the-world trip and you paid for it, you'd value it more than if it was one, because you know you've worked a year to pay for that trip. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to act as if you've paid to be here today. In fact, VIPs you have, you've invested for the VIP experience. In fact, VIPs give you a whoop! Woo! That was pretty good considering I rehearsed that. That's very good. You have all invested though, time, energy, effort, and money to be here today. Some of you taken time out of your busy lives and your businesses to be here today. And now you're here, be all in. Just arriving at this event does not mean you're here. Now you're here, be all in. I was at an event recently in Miami. The reason why it says £3,000 on the board is that's how much it was for the ticket for the event. Based on the fact of that investment level, how do you think I showed up?
Of course you did.
How did I show up? Ready. What state did I show up into? Excited? Enthusiastic? Ready for learning? Focus? Want to get my money's worth? Right? Running to the toilet in between session, didn't want to miss anything. That's too much information. So if this was a social media monetization, this event, you paid £3,000 to be here today, how would you show up to?
I think a lot of people would have been on time today.
But then how about you show up with all the words that you just described for the event that I went to in Miami? Yes or no?
Yes.
So treat this event like you paid £3,000 to be here today, and I guarantee you'll get £3,000 worth of value. Every single session that we teach today is part of the marketing recipe. So for you to get the full recipe, you fundamentally have to be here till the end of the day. This morning we're going to be teaching you the fundamentals of creating a social media fortune. We're going to be teaching you how to become in the top 1 percentile of marketers. After a break, we're going to be teaching you how to win the game of social media monetization. After lunch, VIPs, you're going to stay in the room. VIPs, we're going to answer all your questions. We're going to also provide lunch for you. If you're not yet in VIP and you want to be, at the first break, there will be an opportunity to invest in that for those who want to be in VIP. Oh, also, by the way, just a real side note for the benefit of myself and Ross today, if you need to leave the room today, could you please, I know this is annoying, go to the back of the room, round that runway and come down that gangway there and go behind the whiteboard. If you could, that would be really helpful today. Thank you, Tim. After lunch, we're going to be teaching you about how to build a brand. Here's what you need to know about building a brand. Here's what rookie entrepreneurs think branding is. Yeah, I've got my colour palette, I've got my logo, I've got my new website, brand, I'll sort it. Just so you know, that is not brand. Here's what brand is. Brand is this. It's not what you know, it's not who you know. In today's day and age, it's who knows you. Do McDonald's do the best burgers in the world, team? Yes or no?
No.
Five guys, five. Sorry, vegans. But here's what you need to know. McDonald's is the best known burger in the world. Your job is this, write this down. Best known beats best, write that down. Best known beats best. Your job is to be best known. Every single one of you needs to become best known. When I say running shoe, what do you think of? Nike. Unless you're a running purist and you might have said something else. But the point is this. Every single one of you needs to become the first business, brand, product or service that people think of in your industry and space. Because when you do, you no longer have to sell. People just come towards you. Apple fans in the room, make some noise. If you're not an Apple fan, pretend you know what I'm talking about, because you do. Let's imagine that you're on 5 iPhones in a row and they're about to release the new one, which they just have, and you're up for an upgrade. You would happily take the phone, probably delivered to your house, without even holding it, because Apple has your trust. Yes or no, Tim?
Yes.
So what that means for you is you need to build a brand, because brand equals trust. Write that down. Brand equals trust. And then once we've got a brand, what we need to then also have is what we call a great brand voice. We need a skill which is called dynamic presenting. Let me ask you a question just to illustrate how important this is. Raise your hand in the room if you love to sell more, or even if you love selling, but without actually doing any selling whatsoever. Raise your hand if you would. Then we're going to teach you how to do that. It's a skill called dynamic presenting. We're going to teach you how to use your voice so well. Even if you have a fear of public speaking and presenting, how to present yourself so well that every time people hear you speak about what it is you do, they move towards and they want to buy from you every single time without you having to sell. That will be our final session of the day. We finish today at 5:30. Before we begin, let me just play you this quick intro video.
Meet Ross Temple, the inspirational head coach at Big Business Events, the UK's fastest growing business coaching company.
You'll always be asking yourself, what is next? It's the mentality you need to be. How do you change? How do you succeed? If you don't have a somewhere, you will go nowhere.
With his expert guidance, thousands of entrepreneurs and business owners have been able to build